The much anticipated Fallout.
Real quick, so my ad blocker just went through 2 ads. So YouTube has placed ads on this video and is making money off this video. I just want to go ahead and establish that as we dive in. Hey guys, I need you to do me a favor. Help me fight the algorithm. Go ahead and hit like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon for new notifications. Thank you. In this video, I accidentally misgender somebody simply because I didn't know any better. Throughout the video, in the middle of the video, you'll see me pause and do research and realize I messed up. And I just want to apologize for misgendering them in this video. So just FYI, that's going to be coming up. So there was a specific video in particular, because I don't know if you guys have seen Fallout. Fallout is on Amazon Prime. Really, really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it feels like there was a little bit of push by the grifters to maybe get an angle on it, but I don't think they were really able to. So yeah, here we got... this is totally normal reaction to a trailer reaction, guys. This is normal.
Holy fuck at the diversity.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
Oh my god, the diversity.
People are going to come after you.
Look out at this wasteland.
Diversity.
So yeah, that's a normal thing to do when you're watching a trailer. Just whenever there's not a white person, just yell out diversity. That's standard, right? Everybody does that, right? Right? Anyways, I feel like they wanted to make something happen with this, and it really didn't happen. But I did hear about this one video, and it looks like he's done a couple, like he's done a second video on it since then. So this is somebody I've never covered, but God, I kind of already tell he's a chud. So like, he's got the Mary Jane one right here. Insomniac is dead. Spider-Man 2, disgusting woke propaganda. And of course, picking an opportunistic screenshot of Mary Jane. Doesn't even necessarily look bad in that screenshot. Just normal? You know, it is one of the interesting things. Because computer graphics are capable of making stuff look more realistic. And because it's more realistic, it's not up to these guys' standards. It's weird. Anyways, we're going to go over the first Fallout one. God, he did one that's an hour long. Fallout is incredibly dumb. Okay, let's go over this.
The much anticipated Fallout.
Real quick. So my ad blocker just went through 2 ads. So YouTube has placed ads on this video and is making money off this video. I just want to go ahead and establish that as we dive in.
TV adaptation has finally released. And who am I kidding? We all knew this would be bad. Is anyone surprised? I mean, a single person. I made a video just reacting to the first trailer and knew this would be an absolute butchering. And why is that? Well, not just because it's Amazon, and we all know from Rings of Power and various other shows they made that they really don't care about the source material of any series, franchise.
Okay, so I've said it before. I have never ever played any of the Fallout games. I don't know anything about the source material other than smiling guy with the thumbs up. Apparently that's Vault Boy. I don't know anything pretty much outside of that. I went into this series completely blind, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
No matter how beloved, I mean, if they didn't care about Lord of the Rings, they sure as hell were not going to care about Fallout.
You know, these guys keep on arguing they don't care about Lord of the Rings, and I find it absolutely bizarre. Because their arguments essentially are, like, their arguments against Lord of the Rings are kind of like, how dare they have a Latino elf or a black woman as a leader, or or Galadriel as a warrior, and it's like, at best, like, Amazon is drawing from Silmarillion. Like, that's not really, like, there's no books actually written on that part of the Lord of the Rings canon. We just have, like, these appendices that Tolkien has written, or these short stories that he's written. And they're acting like there's a one-to-one way to translate that stuff, and there isn't. There isn't at all.
But not just that, we know Bethesda doesn't care about Fallout, at least the lore, the canon, anything that they weren't directly involved with, and honestly, in some...
And I will just go ahead and say, I don't know anything about the lore and the canon. All I know is that was a pretty fucking good TV series.
cases, even some of their older games, they don't care about continuity in the least bit. Now for the
continuity is fun, but it's also kind of overrated. You know a franchise that doesn't care about continuity at all? Mad Max. None of the Mad Max movies have a continuity that really makes sense. You can force them to have somewhat of a logical continuity, but you like I said, you have to force it. Like, the continuity between those movies is gobbledygook. Essentially, all those movies are just George Miller doing a wild post-apocalyptic adventure with a Mad Max character, and that's it. Continuity is garbage in that franchise, and that's considered a classic franchise. So continuity is a fun thing, but the way these guys hold it like it's a fucking religion is a bit fucking much.
For the sake of maintaining relevancy, I'm only going to review the first episode in this video, and I'll review the whole season next week. Every single episode dropped at the same time, so on the one hand, that's totally a good thing, because this will be gone and forgotten in no time flat, because I don't think anyone who's a real fan
so, like, there's been that argument whether or not it's good to release it weekly or, like, release it all at once, and it's kind of a mixed bag. I traditionally prefer a weekly release. Like, I wouldn't want them to drop all of X-Men 97 all at once. I like that being weekly. Now, there's the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not a perfect series. It was okay, but not perfect at all. I actually think that was dropped all at once. I think that would have done better if it was dropped weekly. Because, like, towards the end of that season, it's like, hey, we've been at it for a year. There's some, like, dialogue like they've been doing this for, like, a year or something towards the end. And it's like, it doesn't feel like a year because he dropped it all at once. If you had at least done it weekly and stretched out, it would have felt better. Now, Fallout. The interesting thing about Fallout is, like, towards the end of the series, I think Lucy has a line about how she's been out of the vault for, like, 2 weeks. So she hasn't been out of the vault for that long at that point. So Fallout seems like kind of more made for binging because the storyline doesn't take place over that huge amount of time. And, you know, maybe that's something that should be considered when you're releasing this stuff. Like, how big of a time span is this story supposed to take place over? And I think there's all types of things to consider. I think, in general, I prefer a weekly release format. But maybe doing something where, you know, you release it kind of more to reflect the time period that's supposed to be happening for the characters, there's an argument to be made for that.
And a Fallout is going to consider this canon, especially because of all of the retcons, inconsistencies. It's obvious the showrunners didn't give a single shit about the Fallout universe, yet Todd Howard said this is canon.
Okay, so, he is harping on and on about canon. To my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've already said I haven't played the games, but it's a sandbox game essentially, isn't it? Can't like, I've heard that essentially you can, like, enter the game and, like, get to the end in, like, a half hour if you want to. Like, there is a storyline, but it's a sandbox. You're supposed to, like, go around and explore the world. You know, you can jump to the end if you want to because it's a sandbox. But the whole point is kind of exploring the world. And I feel like what they did is they just gave us 3 characters to kind of explore the world with. It's Lucy, Maximus, and the Ghoul. And we have those. We have a whole bunch of different factions that they're introducing. It's interesting. I thought they did a good job with it. Does it reflect the game? I am not the person to ask. I am the person to ask if whether or not it was any good at all. And I thought it was really good.
fucking hate Todd Howard at this point. I don't care if he's not directly involved with any of Bethesda's projects and he's basically just a glorified salesman, the face of the company. Doesn't matter. He's still taking the fucking blame. So before I start spoiling everything
I don't know who Todd Howard is, but if he had anything to do with this series, he did a good job.
in the intro, we might as well just get into the breakdown. So episode 1 begins in 2077, right before the bombs drop. We see Walton Goggins playing one of the main characters, the Ghoul. Yes, they literally call him the Ghoul when there are thousands of ghouls at minimum in the Fallout universe. He is the Ghoul. But as of right now...
Okay. It's possible he has a reputation that precedes him. I don't know. It's fine. He's a badass.
He is Cooper Howard, a Marine veteran who is famous for something. I don't think they explained it in this.
He's an actor. He's an actor. Although, if you just talk about the first episode, they may not establish that in the first episode. But yeah, he's an actor.
Scene, but they imply he played some kind of cowboy character. I don't know if it's for commercials or military propaganda. And now he just does birthday parties.
I don't know about military propaganda. It was in movies, and he did promotional work for Volt.
Is for alimony payments. And I find this even more funny because his kid is mixed race. So his black wife divorced him, and now he plays fucking birthday parties. How black-pilling is that? And at the...
His black wife... What the fuck is this? So he was married to a black woman, and he's still taking care of his daughter, who he cares for very much, which is the responsible thing to do. And you're somehow shaming him for that because his wife was black and... I definitely feel like we're hitting on some racism here. I don't want to dive that far, but Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Risk of getting a shit ton of dislikes from normies, just like my review of the first episode of The Last of Us. I find this even more funny because if you know anything about marriage statistics, you would know that white male, black female actually has the lowest divorce rates.
So does that mean it's impossible? And let's... number one, this show isn't based around fucking statistics. Characters don't follow fucking storylines based on what statistically is most likely for their fucking skin color. For fuck's sake. They follow the storyline that's interesting. Oh my god. This is so fucking dumb. So, just because they're 44% less likely to get divorced doesn't mean they don't get fucking divorced. And we actually see throughout the series, we can actually see where fractures are happening throughout the marriage as it's getting established, and it's like, oh, I can see why it actually seems like he would probably be the one to instigate their divorce, because, what the fuck? The fuck? This is, oh my god. Seriously.
So in a way, you could almost say this is anti-propaganda, but I still think it's promoting race mixing as basically...
Like, you have an issue with race mixing? I can't believe you're bringing up... What the fuck? What the fuck? This... No! Oh my god. What is this? This series is promoting race mixing? Who cares? They're human beings. It's skin color. Holy shit. Oh, god damn it.
Every show on television does. You know, for as woke as...
Who cares? Wow. Wow. I was like, wow, I'm getting racist vibes. And, you know, he's going head first into the fucking racism.
As video games are these days, TV and movies blow the gaming industry out of the water. Basically, every streaming show I've tried to watch with my mother has had some form of propaganda in it, and usually...
You're calling a black woman being married to a white guy propaganda? Holy shit. Wow. Like, when black people marry white people and you just meet them on the street, are you just like, oh, look at that propaganda? The fuck is this? Oh my god. That shit exists in real life. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Multiple types, whether it's race-related, gender-related, LGBT-related, it's usually all of the above. But anyway, getting back to Fallout, the rich guy
Wow, he is so chuddy.
who's hosting the birthday party calls Walton Goggins a communist because he won't stick his thumb up in reference to the supposed safe distance from a nuclear bomb, implying that Walton Goggins opposes the war with China. Nothing really comes of this. This whole scene is obviously supposed to give you an idea what the retro future culture of 2077 looks like, but if a modern Marxist rewrote history and added diversity everywhere. Now, it's not...
Holy shit. Yeah. A mixed race couple is propaganda now. Oh my god.
Not like in the original Fallout games, all the characters were white, but there's something uncanny about this whole thing. We'll put it at that. I'm not gonna make a huge deal over it.
But you did it anyway.
Anyway, shortly after the first nuke drops on LA, the rich guy punches his black friend, not letting him in their Fallout shelter, and Walton...
I I didn't even pick up that was a rich guy punching a black guy. I just picked up on the fact that, oh, the bombs are dropping, you can't go into my fucking Fallout shelter. That's mine, you get the fuck out. That was the whole impression of that. Now, you can argue there's a race element to it, where the white guy has the position and the power to get into a vault, and he's telling the black guy no. You could argue that. But... yeah, no, I didn't even pick up on that element. I just picked up on the element of the rich guy's like, fuck you guys, I'm not gonna die here.
Goggins rides off on a horse with his daughter on the back, as if you could fucking outrun a nuke. They literally...
Well, no, but it's not like you have options. Give it a shot, and you're not, if you're within range of that nuke, you're not outrunning it on a horse, but... give it a shot.
He just told us in the previous scene the safe distance is the...
Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What other options you got?
size of a thumb. I think that explosion might be a little bit bigger than that. I know they did this to have a really dramatic scene, but it just comes across incredibly idiotic, especially since 3 more nukes drop, one which is within a mile of the house.
It's almost like it's the end of the world, and they're showing us the end of the world. Isn't that weird?
Whatever. So anyway, moving on, we fast forward to the present, and I want to point out, this takes place after all of the games. And more importantly, 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. You're gonna want to remember that, considering this takes place on the West Coast. So now we meet our true protagonist, Lucy, a resident of Vault 33, which I guess...
Well, one of the 3 main protagonists. Although I will say the Ghoul is kind of an antagonist for part of the series, but he kind of like morphs throughout the series. But yeah, like it's Lucy, Maximus, and the Ghoul are kind of our focal point characters.
This was another control vault. Either that or it's some kind of multi-vault experiment, as they fail to adequately explain in the show. Vault 31, 32, and 33 are all directly connected to each other. And so Lucy...
well, you might complain that they failed to do that in the first episode, but it's explained throughout the series. Throughout the first season, that is explained. You don't need to know everything in the first episode. Complaining that not everything's explained when it doesn't need to be explained in the first episode is just weak sauce. Like, how come the whole story isn't explained and done in the first episode? Dude, because it's the first episode. Come on.
Lucy is applying for an arranged marriage with one of the other vaults. They show off all of her various skills. And of course, she just so happens to be good at basically everything. Definitely not a Mary Sue, guys. And of course, she gets approved.
So they give you a backstory and a background as to how she's good at all this stuff, and that's still a Mary Sue. And she's not even remotely, like, Mary Sue is such an overused term, and I will have fun diving into that with my next essay. But, these guys abuse it, so it means nothing. Like, it's established how she knows all this stuff. They give you, like, a little backstory. And even if you say, oh, that's still Mary Sue, she's obviously not, because she has no idea how the overworld functions. She is not prepared for it. She gets overpowered quite a bit. She is captured by the ghoul for at least a couple episodes. She is not flawless whatsoever.
We find out her father is the overseer. Her younger brother is this tiny, huge-nosed, cowardly, incompetent.
Again, watching the whole series will tell you tiny and huge nose. Okay, yeah, he's short. He is not incompetent, and he is not cowardly remotely.
Beta male, and also that Lucy...
I guess he was hiding under the table in the first episode. Beta male. Okay. You know, and you could make the argument that was part of his character development. He started out kind of like scared and concerned, and then as the series evolves, he kind of stands out more and more, and, you know, he's able to figure out a lot of the stuff that's going on in the vaults. He's our point of view character in the vaults after Lucy leaves.
Fooled around with her cousin.
Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
Who, despite being a tall, kind of more Chad-looking dude, is also a complete coward, worthless pussy.
Did you miss the part where it's her cousin, so I think them hooking up is probably not the best idea. But also, like, he's like, oh yeah, these guys are all pussy. Yeah, well, they're all kind of disconnected. They're all kind of not world-weary because they've grown up in a vault. They don't know anything about the outside world. They've been very isolated all their lives. Lucy is the exact same way, by the way. Just saying. The only ones that we know of who aren't really like that are the people from Vault 31, and that gets explored later.
Used to hearing that, and so the members of Vault 33 meet up with the members of Vault 32, and we find out her soon-to-be husband is actually a white guy and not ugly. Shocking. But don't worry, they ruined that pretty shortly. At the wedding, Lucy asks her new husband, Monty, what his sperm count is. You know, I think I'm actually starting to...
Yeah, because she's awkward. She doesn't really know social interactions. She's used to knowing everybody, so yeah.
Like this girl. And even more based, as soon as they get back to her room, Monty strips naked and they just straight up have sex. So I guess one good thing came out of this show, but of course everything goes...
Them having a sex scene? Okay. I mean, you do understand the fact that, like, well, I mean, it eventually gets revealed that Monty doesn't really qualify for this, but, like, we're talking about people who haven't really had contact with people outside of their area. Yeah, they're gonna be horny.
Goes to shit as the big schnoz little brother soon discovers one of the members of Vault 32 is dead and rotting. And it turns out raiders somehow got into Vault 32, killed everyone, and Lucy gets stabbed, but she manages to save herself in the most cliche Hollywood way possible by smashing a glass on his head and then, like, slicing his face. She heals herself with a stim pack and then heads into the armory and grabs a fucking trank gun. I guess all the real guns were already gone. And
do they have real guns in the vault? She may not have access to real guns. I kind of assumed she didn't have access to them.
She witnesses a bunch of her friends get horrifically murdered, men just getting the absolute shit beat out of them. The only competent male.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a whole bunch of people who haven't really had access to the outside world and really don't know much about it. It's weird.
At all are the raiders, but her pregnant best friend, after getting stabbed in the eye with a fork, gets a hold of an SMG and starts mowing down raiders. Wow! My God.
Yes. If you watch the whole season, she is from Vault 31, and the Vault 31 characters don't seem as disconnected, seem a bit more world-weary, seem a bit more on top of it. So that makes sense with future information provided.
God, it's Wolfenstein 2 all over again. This is the cringiest shit ever, seeing pregnant women be badass. I fucking hate this propaganda. Is so pregnant women being badass is propaganda now. The fuck is this? So transparent. Whatever, moving on. Lucy's husband turns out to still be alive and almost kills her, but her dad manages to save her, being the only competent male in the show. And
from Vault 31, her dad's from Vault 31.
Lucy gets to see how brutal he is, which I'm pretty sure is implying that he's been to the
This is synthetic, man.
The surface before, but all of the survivors managed to get captured anyway. We see that the Latina overseer is the real villain of the show. Yes, this middle-aged brown woman is supposed to be this mega badass evil raider we're supposed to be intimidated by. Modern media is such a joke. We're not.
So the Latina woman can't be the villain? And it's actually kind of established she definitely does some bad stuff. I don't know if she's quite full-fledged villain, because there's definitely other characters that are pretty bad. This is ridiculous.
Not even halfway through the episode, and I already don't want to watch anymore, but fuck it.
I mean, I feel like this is like the clip we saw of Jeremy and Ryan, where they're just watching it and they're like, diversity, like he's just... Except instead of saying diversity, he's just like propaganda, and it's like mixed race couple propaganda, villain, Latino woman propaganda, woman standing up for herself propaganda. It's like, what the hell, man?
Let's just get through this. Evil Raider chick gives the Overseer an ultimatum. Either choose his daughter Lucy or choose the rest of the residents of the vault. Obviously, he chooses his daughter, but instead of killing all the others, the Raiders just kidnap the dad and then just let the others run away as a bomb timer goes off. Oh, and Raider bitch reveals that she knows Lucy's mom. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost like there's more to the characters, and as you watch through, you learn a bit more of their motivations and stuff like that. It's interesting. It's interesting how watching more of the series can flesh out ideas.
Oh, what a mystery. I'm so intrigued. What the fuck was the point of this scene? Alright, now we get to meet our final main character, Maximus. And it's another pussy-ass black guy. You know what's...
Oh my god, what the fuck?
One thing that every single TV show, movie, and now video game has a diverse cast, but do you have to have every black man be a fucking pussy in
What? Oh my god. All black men are pussies according to this? What? Like
modern media? You know, as harsh as I was on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, at least Barrett is a cool character, okay?
Yeah, okay, so Barrett, I'll give you, Barrett's a cool character, but he also is kind of a cliche that was popular at that time period. And it's been pointed out, especially with the remake. Yeah, he's kind of a cliche. Maximus is just a character who is a squire who wants to be a knight. He aspires to better, but he is still learning. How dare they give him a arc to learn with?
You can sell me on a diverse character if they're cool, if they just act like a person.
Oh, they have to sell you on a diverse character if they're cool. So what? Like, they just can't give you They can't just give you a character, like, I guess if it's anything but cool, then they have to be white? Like, what? This is insane, man. What?
But they happen to have a different color of skin. You know, I know this is very stereotypical shit that basically everyone said by now, but it's true.
I think you're right. I think B1 ER, I don't know, but yeah, Synthetic Man is pretty racist, and I want to stress, YouTube played ads at the beginning of this video. YouTube is making money off this video.
True. It doesn't matter how many times it's said. It's accurate. And yeah, so he gets hazed by all the other Brotherhood of Steel initiates, and he gets saved by a trans man. I'm not joking.
What? What? That was a woman.
So this is 100% mistake on my part. Synthetic Man is correct. Zelia Mendez-Jones is a trans man. This is something I never picked up on watching the series and only stumbled across midway through this video. I wish to apologize because for a little bit I will be misgendering them. This is my bad. I do not mean any harm by it. This is just a mistake that happens when you are live recording and don't have an opportunity to really do research until, you're live.
Joking, dude. There's probably gonna be some coping and seething, but no, that is not a tomboy. That is not a masculine female. No, that is a woman who identifies as a man. You know it to be true. And she's more of a man than Maximus is. This is fucking...
Oh, God, watch the fucking series. Number one, I don't know what your standards for man is, but... Oh, God, so much this is explained through the series, and you're just being a fucking racist bigot, like, identifying all this stuff based on skin color and first impressions. Oh my God, this is so fucking bad.
Embarrassing. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. I have to get through this, guys. I can't take it anymore. Everything I love.
So, spoiler for the series. She was chosen to be a knight before Maximus, and and Maximus was a little bit jealous, and then she gets terribly injured. She gets a razor blade in her boot, and she gets terribly injured and cut up, so she can't take on I think she's chosen to be a squire for a knight. So Maximus ends up taking her role as being a squire for a knight, which is the step below becoming a full-fledged knight. So Maximus ends up taking that role, and there is a discussion that Maximus is the one who put the razor blade in her boot to injure her so that she couldn't take the role. Now, he says he didn't, and we, throughout the series, we're not 100% sure who it actually is. And then, final episode, it is revealed that she did it because she was scared. And all of a sudden, this argument he has is thrown away. Ignoring the fact that it's fucking a racist, bigoted argument. It's not even fucking relevant to the goddamn story. Jesus.
Love has been destroyed. Let's just fast forward through the rest of this episode. Okay, so another Pridwin shows up. Maybe it's the same Pridwin from Fallout 4. I don't know. They don't confirm or deny in this episode. We see some Brotherhood Knights in T60 power armor show up. And I don't know, it looks okay. I know some people are like, it looks like shitty cosplay. I think the costumes look okay. It's when there's CGI that it looks bad. In the next scene, Maximus and the girl...
I mean, that's the best one I'll give you. There's some spotty CGI. That being said, it's not terrible. And, yeah, obviously, it's not like they can build sets that would really work great. Maybe you can get some desert stuff, but, you still have to be picky. You're not going to be able to get sets for everything you need for a project like this, so you will have to do CGI for a lot of your backgrounds and stuff.
Oh boy, sneak away and look at some power armor, and Maximus has a flashback to when he was saved by the Brotherhood of Steel. Then we see the Initiates play...
Yeah, it's almost like they're establishing a backstory for him. That, he looks up to the Brotherhood of Steel, and, maybe we will evolve that throughout the season.
Some brick ball. Look, I know they're trying to be cute about post-apocalypse, they don't understand how sports work, but really throwing bricks into a fucking square hoop? And we learn some of the initiates have been
Yeah, it's almost like things are different in the apocalypse.
chosen to be squires, and of course Maximus doesn't get chosen, but the girl boy does. And so the next morning, as G.I. Jane puts on her boots, a trap placed inside her boot shreds her leg. And to no surprise, Maximus is blamed for this and taken away to be interrogated. Back at Vault.
Okay, like he's harping. I'm pretty sure that was just supposed to be a woman role, but let me double check, because now he's got me wondering. And I think he's trying to misgender her, and I don't think he's doing it correctly, because I'm pretty sure it was just a woman character. So, the actor is Zelia Mendez-Jones. They play Dane. Oh my god, am I misgendering them? Oh, now I feel like a shithead. Looks like gender non-binary. I don't know if that's established in the series, though. No, I did not know Hassan covered this video. I don't watch Hassan. Hassan is... Listen, I don't know. Do I even necessarily want to say it? I think Hassan is an okay voice for the left, but he is questionable at times. Yeah. So I didn't... Okay, so they're gender non-binary. So it's they, them. Okay. Okay. My bad. It is they, them. So he is misgendering them. And I was misgendering them as well. I apologize. If they happen to see this, I apologize. I did not mean to misgender you.
33, Lucy tries to get the council to send out a search party for her dad, but the fat black soy jack on the council is too chicken shit, as is the rest of them.
Yeah, it's almost like they are a society of people who are not used to going out and are scared about going out. It's weird.
And so Lucy teams up with Big Schnoz and Sweet Home Alabama to leave the vault themselves. Of course, her brother, being a massive pussy, won't go with her. Her cousin actually wants to, but she knows he's incredibly incompetent and also a coward.
She didn't want to risk his life. Not that picky.
So she tranks him and leaves the vault by herself. Now this is where the show jumps the shark. We find out that Vault 33 is located next to Venice Beach in the heart of the Boneyard. Now, if you know anything about Fallout lore, you would know that the NCR dominated this territory, brought civilization back to it. There is no way in hell that Vault 33 was not contacted over the course of 100 years. And of course, to address the...
You know, I didn't know that part of the lore. But watching the series, that makes sense. Because the fall of the New Republic of California, spoiler, the fall of it is an element of the goddamn series. Holy shit.
The elephant in the room, LA itself is a massive wasteland, like a featureless desert. What happened to the NCR? Well, at the time of me recording this, I was spoiled of future episodes. And apparently Shady Sands got nuked 4 years before the events of Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that's how you know the showrunners didn't do the research, and yet this show's canon. It's totally canon, guys, that the capital of the NCR got nuked before New Vegas. Yet it was never mentioned, and it's more than established that the NCR dominated California and brought civilization back. Fuck this show. Fuck Todd Howard. Fuck Amazon. Bethesda is...
Okay, so I don't know continuity of the games. I don't care. I enjoyed the series.
So beyond dead to me, it's insane. Everyone who likes Fallout 4 gets exactly what they fucking deserve with this show. What blows my mind is there's people who actually thought Starfield was going to be good. And even though the NCR capital was nuked, that doesn't explain how the Boneyard turned into a giant desert wasteland. But it's as simple as the showrunners didn't care. This is not made for the fans.
I agree. Fuck this video as well. This is atrocious.
This is made for normies who have heard of Fallout.
Okay, so This isn't made for the fans. This is made for normies who haven't heard of Fallout. Well, I don't know about your terminology, but you're not wrong. This is made for a broader audience. This is made for people. Their goal is to get the built-in fan base, because they figure that built-in fan base is good. But their other goal is to spread it out. Get people who aren't part of the built-in fan base. That's another thing they're going for. The series is overall extremely well received. I personally thought it was great. Lots of people think it's great. And a side effect of that is that more people are picking up the games. So it was successful in broadening the audience, having it reach a new audience, and getting more people interested in the game. So yeah, they definitely had goals for that, and it worked.
It's made for women who won't even watch the show. And most importantly,
people are watching a show. The games are selling, or they got a spike in sales.
It's made as a humiliation ritual. They will destroy everything you love, and you will do nothing about it. At best, you'll vote with your wallet and hope things get better. Yeah, that's worked out so great for us in the last decade. But whatever, I'm not gonna Fed post, because I will legitimately get banned. Next scene, we get back to Maximus.
I would like to add, this terribly racist bigoted video is monetized on YouTube. YouTube makes 45% of the ad revenue. This guy makes 55% of the ad revenue on this video. That is bigoted shit.
And he cries like a little baby bitch as the scribe interrogates him, accusing him of something he didn't do, and he makes almost no effort to defend himself. Eventually, he works up the courage to speak and just says he would gladly give his life for the Brotherhood, and the scribe rewards him by promoting him to squire, taking the she-man's place. Then we get a scene...
Oh my god, you are ridiculous, man.
Where the she-man doesn't blame him because she knows he would never do it, because again, he's a little bitch boy who would never do anything wrong. What a great protagonist. And at his anointment ceremony, he gets a brand burned on the back of his neck by power armor, which is kind of cool, I guess. And now we get another
That was kind of cool. Oh, Jesus, dude.
massive retcon. Apparently the Enclave is still around. Yup. Even though we see the last of their remnants in New Vegas, which are a bunch of fucking senile boomers, 15 years later, the Enclave is back with a vengeance. Maximus is tasked.
Well, I don't know if we know the story between those, and I also kind of don't care.
With finding one of their runaways who I guess is hanging with dog meat. And for the final scene of the episode, we wrap back around to Walton Goggins as we see a few mercenaries dig up his corpse. Oh god, here we go again. Pete Hines has been vindicated. For those of you who don't know, there is a unmarked quest in Fallout 4 where you find a ghoul child who's been locked in like a fridge or something. I can't even really remember. The child has been in there for 200 years with no food or water, and you reunite him with his parents who are also ghouls. It's quite possibly the dumbest quest in any RPG of all time, and rightfully, fans pointed out how stupid it was, how it's been established in the original games that ghouls do eat and drink, and I believe even in Fallout 3, they have to eat and drink, but no, now...
Well, that is weird, because, well, in this series, it's established that they need a drug, otherwise they will go insane and kind of zombie-like.
Ghouls are just immortal zombies, and Pete Hines, being a massive silly Billy on Twitter, pointed out how nerds are all losers for caring about continuity.
Yes, that is what that tweet says. That tweet says, nerds are all losers for complaining about continuity. That is what that says. You nailed it. No, that's obviously not what it says. Not interested in discussing how realistic things are in an alternate universe post-apocalyptic game with talking mutants and ghouls. Which is a logical response. It's not realistic. It's insanity.
You're right. Why should I care about anything that happens in the story? I should just consume your product, you piece of shit. But now, over 8 years later, Bethesda still has a chip on their shoulder about that one, and has confirmed in this show that ghouls can be buried underground in a coffin for who knows how long, and be perfectly fine.
Okay. So, yeah, no, it's established through the show that they need a drug to prevent from going zombie-like. And you have these things going in there. We don't know how long he was buried for, but he definitely is familiar with the world on the outside. So he's not like, it's not been like 200 years or something. It's definitely been shorter, and he's got the drug.
And for seemingly no reason at all, Walton Goggins kills the 3 mercenaries. They weren't even hostile. They were offering to share a bounty with him. And
no, that's a good Bob the Old Ways. I would love for a show creator to answer the question, is this canon, with I don't care and you shouldn't either, just for the lulz. So real quick, I want to share a quote with you guys. It's all.
He kills them.
Well, here, there's lots of cool images about it. I'll just go ahead and share one of the images, but like, it's a great quote about canon that I absolutely love. It's from the legend himself, Leonard Nimoy. In fact, it probably looks better if I use the comic book view. Canon is only important to certain people because they have to cling to their knowledge of the minutia. Open your mind, be a Star Trek fan, and open your mind and say, where does Star Trek want to take me now? Fucking great fucking quote. Great goddamn quote. And I think it covers these canon arguments quite well. Don't get freaked out over canon details. Just enjoy and appreciate where the story wants you to go.
This show is fucking stupid. Okay, that was episode 1. It sucked dick. It ruined everything. Fallout's dead again. Honestly, Fallout's been dead to me.
Fallout's dead. I love how they keep on saying stuff is dead. It's like, it's not dead. It's not dead at all.
Since Fallout 4 released, and to even more fans after 76. So while yes, I did get kind of angry over certain things in this show, you know, sometimes I ham things up for the reviews. I honestly don't.
You ham things up for the reviews? Did you racist things up as well? Because that's pretty fucking bad, dude.
Care that much. I'm just tired of propaganda being shoved in my face.
Propaganda! Oh, these buzzwords these guys use. So, Dane, if you missed it, interracial marriage is propaganda.
It's more than anything. And yeah, I mean, this show's woke as fuck. It's diverse as hell. It's an obvious female empowerment story. That's really the most annoying thing of all.
Oh, I hate it when women have, like, roles and are lead roles. Fucking bitches. It's so ridiculous, man. My God. I think, like, so many people in the comments will be like, why aren't you responding to their arguments? It's like, it's only so long I can respond to this raw fucking bigotry, guys. The fact, like, the only reason it's even worth necessarily covering these guys is either A, to laugh, or B, because people take this shit seriously and will argue these points after dipshits that are popular, like this guy apparently is, make a dipshit video.
Lucy is an obvious Mary Sue. All of the men around her are incredibly pathetic and weak. The trans male character was more of a man than Maximus, one of our...
You need to watch the goddamn series.
main characters. You would think black people would make more of a stir about this, but as you saw with my Spider-Man 2...
Yeah, how dare they have a fully developed black character with a complete arc that runs throughout the series. How dare they do that? Jesus Christ.
Review. No, they totally love Miles Morales, who's fucking Urkel incarnate. So
You would only think Miles Morales is Urkel incarnate if you have no experience with the character of Miles Morales. Because he's nothing like that. My God.
I guess we're going to continue to see these characters in the future until showrunners and game developers start getting called racist for this pathetic beta male stereotype. And yeah, I don't think I need to bring up again how heavily they've shit on the Fallout lore already in the first episode. I'm really not looking forward to watching the rest of this. I just know when they show the huge crater where Shady Sands used to be, it's just going to be a giant middle finger to all the fans. And I've heard Mr. House also shows up in this show. And to spoil a plot point from later in the show, they confirm that Vault-Tec fired the first nuke, which completely ruins the main theme of Fallout. These fucking far leftists.
Well, I don't know what the main theme of Fallout before this. I will say the theme of this series is, well, at least one of the themes. There's lots of themes in this series. But one of the themes is that capitalism destroyed the world. And capitalism also blamed communism for destroying the world.
Don't even listen to the opening monologue or the ending one. War never changes. That's what the fucking series is about, but you stupid fucks are so obsessed with
War never changes? Well, I don't know what the rest of the franchise is about. Like, but I mean, the argument can be made, and Pillar of Garbage actually did an excellent video about this. One of the themes is about how the end of the world is subjective. There's always going to be more world after the end of the world, as long as humanity's alive. There's always going to be more to it. By the way, that was an excellent video he did. Pill of Garbage. Just reached 100,000 views. Or 100,000 views. 100,000 subscribers. Go check him out. And also, like and subscribe to this video, because I wouldn't mind aping on his coattails. He's awesome. Yes. It's well-earned, though. Well-earned. Pillar of Garbage. Excellent job.
Capitalism, you think it's about corporation bad. That's what Fallout's really about. The games literally tell you what the theme is word for word. Now that it's not America or China's fault that the world ended, the entire message of the series is ruined. I guess this...
It is? Well, I don't know about the entire message of the franchise, but the message of the Amazon series was quite clear. And it was very much how capitalism, essentially Vault-Tec, destroyed the world for money.
Silver lining of all of this is there's only a few gaming franchises I still even care about anymore, and it's only a matter of time till those are destroyed too. And then I can truly be apathetic about the entire gaming industry. So yeah, as if I even had to tell you, don't watch this show. I mean, if you like this show on any level, I've lost any and all respect for you. In fact...
Oh, dude, don't worry. I lost respect for you, like, 17 minutes ago. Any possible respect I lost for you. This is an insane review. So, honestly, if I don't have your respect, I think I'm probably doing something right.
I don't think I even view you as human anymore if you like this show. Yeah, I'll go that far. You can quote me on...
Cool. Like, I like how he's like, oh, I'm just being hyperbolic for this review. By the way, you're not human if you like this. Just ridiculous.
On that shit. So please, for the love of God, do not hate watch this show. That's about it. See you next time, guys.
Wow, that is atrociously bad video. Incredibly bigoted. And I want to add again, YouTube is running ads on this video. YouTube is making money on this video. That is clearly incredibly bigoted, because this is insanely bad. I do want to make the point that YouTube is very much making money off garbage like this. How many views has this got? This is 321,000 views on this video. So they're making bang on this one. Yeah, YouTube rewards bigotry. They are.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.